got arrested, we keeping that private. Buy me a Hyatt for Wyatt. I'ma make sure that you go on a diet. Eat from your plate, you can tell that I like it. You thought you was gonna bag my chick. Yeah, right.
How are y'all doing today? I'm your host, SchuZ, Schumaker, and I hope you guys are having a very blessed day. Even in the midst of everything going on right now, hopefully this can bring us a little bit of joy, fun, even distract you a little bit while y'all are in quarantine. But before going any further, make sure to go hit the red subscribe button below. I definitely appreciate that. And whatever podcast platform you're on, go like it, go comment, subscribe, whatever you can to stay up to date on that podcast. But why do you guys love this episode so much? Well, you guys get to hear from one of the top players in one of the top recruiting classes in 2020, and Donovan Puff Johnson. Not going to miss hearing from the North Carolina commit. It's going to be a big time interview. Now, what else is big time in my life? Well, IG Live interviews. Go check those out right now. Every day they're happening. Multiple sessions. You're not going to miss any of those. So make sure to stay up to date on all that. Well, follow me at Zach Schumaker on both Twitter and Instagram. I'll keep you guys up to date. Now, I'll also keep you guys up to date on other SchuZ Views episodes. I'll keep you up to date on Big Time, the breakdown, everything. You're not going to miss it. So once again, head over to Instagram and Twitter and follow me at Zach Schumaker. Now, obviously, as you guys probably know by now, this episode is brought to you by the Player Circle. Now, the Player Circle is the only social networking app designed specifically for grassroots basketball players and coaches. Post all your career mixtapes, accomplishments, highlights, commitment edits, you name it, to get noticed by scouts and coaches all over the country. So go download it in the App Store right now. Also, make sure to go follow Recruits News right now on Instagram. You're not going to miss what they have to do. They're going to keep you guys up to date on different high school stats, college commitments, everything, men's and women's. You're not going to miss them. Head over and follow them at Recruits News right now on Instagram. But with that being said, I think we're going to hop right into this. So, Donovan's interview is up right after this.
I'm blessed to welcome on the number 41 overall player in 2020, a 4-star, a number 2 overall player in AZ, and a number 8 overall small forward. He's one of the stars on Hillcrest this past season, of course, North Carolina commit, Donovan Puff Johnson. What's happening, bro?
Nothing much. How you doing?
Pretty good. So, you're back home now. Talk about what it's like getting ready to end up eventually prepared to go to UNC once stuff's all done.
Being back home is great. I love Pittsburgh, and just excited to go down to UNC, get ready to work in the summer, and get ready for the season.
And you guys have one of the top recruiting classes in the nation. There's top 3 in every source. What's it like going in there with so much elite talent?
It's great just because you know you're playing with great players, and they have good players there already, so it should be a fun season. And we've won gold mine. That's win the national championship.
And it will be coming off, obviously, a down year for UNC. One of the worst years they've had in Roy Williams' tenure there. And talk about going in there, how you guys going to help change and get back to where they're supposed to be.
We're not going to focus on what happened the last season, but we're just going to focus on now and work the hardest we can and just produce wins.
No doubt. And one guy we all know the star player this year is Corey Anthony. He battled a lot of injuries, and there's some speculation of possibly coming back. Do you have an idea about that, and what would it be like playing with him if he does come back?
I have no idea on that part, but playing with Cole would be great, and he's a great player, and he's going to be a high-level NBA player once he goes. So playing with him would be great, and he's a great teammate, so that's even better.
No doubt. Now let's just talk about all the other guys in the class. Go down the list of them and talk about really your relationship with them and how you guys kind of decided to kind of link up.
We have a group chat. We always talk to each other, and I played Caleb when he was in the EYBL. He's a great player, great point guard, great playmaker. I played with RJ at the top 100, MVP at top 100. We won the championship in that. Also another great player, great playmaker. I've never played against Dayron, or I've never played with Dayron, but I've seen highlights of him, and he's a monster down low. Same him and Walker. I haven't played against him, but we talk all the time, and we have a group chat, and it's gonna be exciting next year.
I know UNC fan. Been able to see your family on the team for quite some time now. What's it going to be like kind of going to the same school and be able to kind of continue a legacy of the BAM?
It's going to be great just because the fans there are awesome, and I know the coaching staff real well, and I know pretty much all the players real well. So it's going to be a great experience to go down there, and I'm used to it. So it should be just easy process, a smooth transition.
We obviously know Cam. He's in the NBA now, and really, has he shared any information or any kind of insight to help you get ready for your time at UNC?
Yeah, all the time. We always talk, and he just tells me you gotta be ready to work. And it's great just because he was there and he went through it, and now he's in the NBA. So he's trying to lay out all the steps for me. And yeah, he's a great mentor. He tells me what I need to do, and yeah, great person to look up to.
How you guys bond kind of grown, and really what's it like off the court?
Oh, it's great. We always play video games, and we always hang out. So yeah, during this quarantine, this is probably one of the longest times I haven't seen him besides when he was in college. But yeah, we always hang out, and even when I was down in Arizona, we'd hang out a lot. And yeah, he's a great older brother.
Absolutely, and as I said, I mean, you were in Arizona the past season. What was it like playing for Hillcrest?
It was great team, just a good organization, and it was a fun experience just because you got to play all the top players in the country. And I knew that the difference from my old high school that I was at last year in Hillcrest, that it was just a bigger stage, and just improving your game and taking a step between high school and college. I wanted to get the middle ground and just get ready for college.
And you kind of said that perfectly. I think when you look at prep ball, I mean, there's nothing wrong with staying at high school all 4 years or whatnot, but like you said, I mean, prep ball, you're playing against all guys are going to be going Division I just like you, and a lot of guys will have NBA hopes eventually as well, and that just kind of, like you said, prepares you for the next level.
For sure, especially practices too, practicing against them.
And talk about those practices. I mean, you look down the Hillcrest roster, there's 5, 6, 7 guys that might be going to the NBA someday. I mean, what's it like in those practices this past season?
Practices were crazy, real competitive, especially when we scrimmaged. Got real competitive just because everyone on the team has the same goal, and that's to make it to the next level, wherever the next level might be, college, NBA. So all the practices were all competitive, and we didn't want to lose, especially if we do 3-on-3 or 4-on-4, any competition. No one wanted to lose, so it was just great just to compete.
And everyone knows that there's a lot of high characters on the team, but who would you say is maybe the funniest guy, the guy that kind of gelled the team together?
Definitely Dalen. Dalen's definitely the funniest. He's a funny dude for sure.
Would you say there's any funny stories from the past season?
Ooh, not any that come right off the top of my head. It was just a great experience playing with them and just getting to know them off the court. Just because we all come from different backgrounds. Obviously, I'm from Pittsburgh, Mike's from Chicago, so a whole different. Mike's from Milwaukee, so a whole different backgrounds, and it was just cool to get to know each and every one of them.
And obviously, like you said, I mean, you look at a lot of these guys, and there's a lot of guys you could potentially match up with if scheduled aligned next year. So what would it be like to potentially play against one of these guys sometime?
I always talk to DT about that. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna see you again when we play in the tournament. So we always joke around about that. But yeah, it'll be real cool just to play one of them, just because they're at high level schools too. So it'd be a great battle.
And let's talk about some other options. I mean, Arizona obviously was one school you also were considering. What were some of the schools that you really were attracted to?
My final three was Pitt, Arizona, and North Carolina. And I liked all of them, honestly. The coaching staffs were all great. The atmospheres were all great. But I was just more comfortable with the UNC.
Well, let's talk about Pitt a little bit. I mean, obviously, I know your dad played there with Coach Sean Miller, I believe. And just talk about what that relationship was like.
My relationship with Pitt, I mean, I know the coaching staff. I know the Capels, Coach Capel real well. Yeah, it's a great coaching staff, and they're definitely turning it around. And my dad played with Coach Miller back in the day. I think it was 89, 90 or 88, 89, somewhere around there. But, yeah, they played together, and we have known Coach Miller for a long time now. So it was a hard decision, but I just felt more comfortable with UNC and all the players and the coaching staff.
And obviously, your coach next year will be Coach Roy Williams. I mean, what's it going to be like to be coached by him?
It's great. He's one of the best coaches to ever coach, honestly. And he's a great mentor. And the thing is, he's done it so many times that he knows how to put players to the next level. And he knows how to make them successful and help them grow as on and off the court as men. And, yeah, it's going to be a great experience.
What's going to be like knowing that going in there, you're going to be able to have championship runs or have Final Four appearances?
It's great just because I've seen videos of other teams doing it and how much fun they have. And he's been there many times, so he's real good at knowing what to do in the situations and knowing how to get the team there and knowing how to prepare to get there. So that's the goal, just try to win in advance.
No doubt. And so when you go in there, I mean, who's some of the guys on the team right now that you have good relationships with?
I really have relationships with all of them, and they're all cool. A lot of the players that Cameron played with, and like Cameron's underclassmen. So I have real good. I've had a relationship with them ever since he was there. So I'm just continuing them. And I think there was his freshman when he was a senior, or his sophomores when he was a senior, and yeah, I know all of them, and they're all cool.
And so, I mean, getting the experience of having a brother obviously in the program, you get to kind of be around the college feel a little bit more than most people do. I mean, what's it kind of like getting that kind of a feeling of what college life is like?
It was definitely a great experience just because I got to see what he was doing and just knowing how much work he had to put in. He always tells me how much work he had to put in to get to the level. It's not easy. And it's great having an older brother that's already done it just because you know what to look forward to and you have a blueprint of what you need to do.
Absolutely. And obviously, you're not exact same player as Cam. So, what do you see when you go in there next year? What are you going to bring to the table? And really, what can fans expect from you?
I say you can expect toughness. You can expect someone that's going to play their hardest every single time they're on the court. Just give it my all and see what happens.
Are there any players that maybe a former North Carolina player that you kind of are a lot like?
Yeah, Cam. I feel like I'm a lot like him. Justin Jackson, Harrison, all of them, all the wings in the position. I feel like I can take a little bit of their game and match it some of mine.
Absolutely. And you look down at some of those other guys that they're bringing in, obviously. I mean, you guys kind of fill every position right, and you guys have a lot of talent. I mean, for you, we all know you're one of the best shooters in the country, if not the best. So going in there, I mean, do you have any goals in terms of shooting next year?
I don't really have goals in terms of shooting, but I am gonna just try my best, just get myself prepared for each and every game, and see what happens from there.
No doubt. And I know your goal eventually is to play in the NBA. I mean, I think that's every top player's basketball dream. But how do you really plan to kind of approach that goal?
Just working hard, really, and Cameron always tells me, of course, work hard, and just takes hours in the gym, and the more time you put in the gym, better results you're going to be. So just have to put in time and just put in time working on your shot, working on just all the little things that's going to make you a better player.
And I can imagine, I mean, it probably was Cam's one of his best days of his life when he got his name called in the draft a year ago. I mean, what was that experience like? Were you with him? And just talk about that experience.
Yeah, he was home. He didn't attend the draft, but it was great. It was just a great time. We had celebrated with family, and we're all excited for him. Right when he got the call, and then when we watched it on TV, we got even more excited. But it was great just to see him live out his dream, like see it really happen that he got drafted in the lottery, and it was a great experience to see.
No doubt. And you talked about playing the prep level, how it's going to help prepare you for college. And obviously, some of those tournaments that you guys were able to participate in were on TV, were on ESPN. I mean, what were some of the favorite tournaments you guys participated in?
I'd say one of my favorite was definitely John Wall, just because I was in North Carolina and I already committed North Carolina at the time, and I was probably about 25 minutes from the campus. But just the whole experience of all the fans there, and the John Wall tournament by itself is a great tournament, and it just made it even better that like the fans were there and North Carolina fans were there. But yeah, the crowd was packed every single game. It was a sellout, standing room only. We played great teams. We played Moravian. We played Word of God. John Wall was there, and we ended up winning it. So, I mean, it was a great experience for sure.
What was it like having John Wall sit there and watch you guys' games?
That was pretty cool. I didn't even notice him, honestly. Coach Williams came to two of them, I think, and Coach Rob came to all three or two or something like that. But, yeah, I didn't even notice John Wall was there until probably like the second or third day. But, yeah, it was a great experience for sure.
And I know we all know that heading into that tournament, Hillcrest obviously was struggling under the team, a couple of rough games, a couple of rough weekends, and you guys came out there and you guys put on a show along with obviously Chick-fil-A. I mean, what was it like during those 2 weekends putting on a show and winning championships?
Yeah, going back to back because that was around Christmas time because we went out to Chick-fil-A and then we went home. We went home for Christmas for like a day or two and then went out to the John Wall and we were out, I think, 7 in a row, 6 in a row. One Chick-fil-A, one John Wall. But, yeah, it was great. It was great just winning and just winning top tournaments in the country. So it was a great experience.
And you guys also got to go play in NBA Stadium, the Barclays Center. I mean, what was that experience like?
Yeah, the Bowden Apple was real cool, really well run, and just a great experience also, just because I got to play in the NBA. It was like an NBA experience almost, and knowing what the NBA guys, like what their whole layout is, and yeah, that was pretty cool, and having all the fans there, and yeah, it was in Barclays, so couldn't get better than that.
And then let's go all the way back. I mean, when you got your very first offer ever, I mean, taking me through that experience, what was that like, and how'd that kind of go down?
My very first Division I offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That was my Duquesne offer, and it was great. I was excited. I was thrilled, and that was my sophomore year, I think. And I was jumping up and down, and uh, that's when I realized I was like, yeah, like I gotta keep on working just so I can try to get more offers, and I feel like I can be a top player, and I feel like that was the moment where it all clicked.
You know where you were when that happened?
Yeah, I was at practice. It was either practice or open gym. I think it was a practice. Yeah, practice right before we were going to the state playoffs. My sophomore year, I had a practice, and then the Duquesne coaches came in and watched me, and they offered me a scholarship right down the spot, and I was thrilled.
That's awesome. And then obviously for you, I mean, as you continue the recruitment process, I mean, what was it like kind of narrowing down your schools? I believe you went to top 7, then you went to top 3. I mean, what kind of went into those decisions?
Just where I felt most comfortable, and I took visits throughout the way, and yeah, just where I felt most comfortable, honestly, and felt most comfortable with the coaching staff and most of the players. So yeah, that was probably the biggest factor.
And throughout last summer, I mean, you were able to play in the EYBL. You put on a show. I mean, what was that experience like?
That was great. I also played in the D's Gauntlet. D's Gauntlet was good, but the EYBL experience was awesome. We made the Peach Jam. We played top players in the country every single game. And I think it was 24-second shot clocks. That was a little different. And then farther back 3-point line, that was also a little different. So it was a great experience for sure.
And you just talk about, obviously, Adidas and Nike. I mean, I think, in my opinion, all three of the leagues can all get players to where they want to go. But kind of where do you see the biggest differences between some of them?
I'd say that Nike had, at least in my class this year, they had the most like top ranked players. But Adidas was also good, and the Nike experience was good. Nike did a little different rules, so that was a little different, but it was a good type of different. And yeah, so I'd say both of them are good, but I really enjoyed my experience in Nike.
I know everyone obviously loves the AU season, especially when it's going to be your last one, and we don't know exactly what's going to happen with Corona stuff, but for some of the guys that might not get this opportunity, and they obviously could be using it for a way to kind of get them to the next level, could you offer any encouragement to them?
I'd say just keep on working hard, and at the end of the day, if you are one of the top players, you'll get found. Someone will find you somehow, some way, in college or in the NBA, so just keep on working hard and keep on developing on your craft.
And in your junior season, I mean, you got to before you went to Arizona. I mean, you got to win a state championship. You led your team to a great game. I mean, what was that experience like? What was that run like?
Yep, it was great. It was great. Winning the state championship and being one of the top players in Pennsylvania. It was awesome. It was a great experience to do with the kids I grew up with. So yeah, that was definitely awesome.
Absolutely. And kind of talking about maybe one fun fact for North Carolina fans. They might not know you, but what's maybe one thing that people just don't know about you?
Growing up, I've always loved watching football. Not only watching football, I played football ever since I was a little kid, and then I ended up growing it thin and out. But I was, at least I believe, I was a pretty good quarterback, and we ended up like winning or coming runner-up like 2-3 years in the like our regional finals, and yeah, I mean we were always a good team.
Would you say your favorite NFL team is the Steelers then, or?
My favorite NFL team was the Panthers, and then Cam Newton left, so wherever Cam Newton goes, I'm a fan of.
For sure. And so on top of that, I mean, we know that obviously all the stuff is going on right now, but talk about your day right now. What's it kind of like being in quarantine?
Just working out and just trying to get my body ready and just trying to put on more weight for North Carolina. But, yeah, just work out. Now we're doing online school, so work out. like talk to my brother. Sometimes my older brother will come over, so hang out with him, and then play video games with Cam and talk to Cam. So I mean, it's all right. I mean, not ideal, but I'll get through it.
Absolutely. And I was talked about earlier, you guys have a lot of athletes in the family. What's some of the games like growing up? How are those one-on-one games, two-on-two games like?
That's crazy. Me and Cam still go at it. We really go at it. Our last game was like, I don't know, he beat me 6 games to 4, 6 games to 3, but we always go at it. And we used to play 3-on-3 in the driveway, and this was like our last time playing 3-on-3 as a family in the driveway, probably about 2 years ago maybe. And then Cameron went to North Carolina, and I started getting older and stronger, and then my little brother started getting older and stronger. So I don't know how the teams would match up now, but it was fun, and we're always competitors. We played from like 3 o'clock till it was dark, and we couldn't see anymore. So yeah, that's how it was. No one wanted to lose, and so we wouldn't stop the game. We'd be like play to 70, and then we'd end up keep on going because someone was losing. So we're just a competitive family.
What's the first memory that comes to mind when you think about you and Cam or you and any of your family members?
Probably the funniest. Well, now looking back at it, I think it's really funny. But at the time, I didn't. It was when I think Cam was in high school. Yeah, he was still in high school, and I was real young. And let's just say he killed me 1-on-1, and he rubbed it in. He beat me like 44-4. And like my dad was like, "Hey guys, like stop the game." And I guess I don't really remember it that well, but I was like, no. And then I was like drenched in sweat. I do remember that part, and all upset and like sulking because I lost 44-4. But ever since then, our games have been closer and closer and closer, and I'm getting this close to beating him, this close.
That was big time. Before I let you go, man, I'll just wrapping up a couple different questions. The first one being, who do you like to say is being your biggest role model?
My biggest role model, probably both my parents, and just because they play college basketball too, and I can look up to them. And they've been through it, and they're great parents. I'd say those are definitely my 2 biggest role models.
For sure. So my final question I was like wrapping up with, talking about faith. I mean, how would you say God has helped get you to the point you're at today?
He's helped me a lot. I'm really blessed to be in the position I am today. It's just amazing just because when I was a kid, like you dream about playing this game and playing such a high level, and now living out my dreams and going to North Carolina next year. God is good, and if you just have faith and believe and trust, then good things will happen.
Amen, man. Well, I'm definitely excited to see you play next season and keep on doing your thing, bro.
No problem.
All right, sounds good, man. Talk to you later. God bless.
Got you. Yep, you too.